Welcome back on my channel and on Murdoch's channel, because this is a collab.
Collab, yeah.
So it's on both our channels, so no one is the guest and no one is the host. No one is the host.
Collaborations don't work.
Yeah. No, they don't?
Franz Ferdinand and Sparks.
Oh, okay.
I think so. But we are still trying.
Okay. I'm in a hip hop phase at the moment.
Ah, yeah.
And almost, it's always with features. So
Okay.
it's only collaborations with hip hop. Every track is a collaboration with someone else. But that's although it's almost
that's a nice entry for the.
It's almost fitting for today's topic. But I didn't think of any of the hip hop bands that I'm listening or acts. I didn't think of them for the purpose of this video today. But I should have. Maybe it would fit somehow with the topic, which is guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
What's a guilty pleasure, Murdoch?
What's a guilty pleasure?
I always ask this myself. What's a guilty pleasure?
That's a good question, because who decides what a guilty pleasure is and what not? But
I mean,
usually I think with us cool jazz police music nerds, it's something that is considered very mainstream or very cheesy usually.
I mean, there are two opposing kind of opinions about this. I think there's the people who always say that there is no such thing as a guilty pleasure, and I think that's as wrong as people who are like the ultra jazz police. Both extremes are too extreme, because to say there are no guilty pleasures, if there's no bad music, then this also means there can be no good music. So you have to have both, and every one of us, or at least people who make videos like us and people who watch these videos, they have like a very distinct taste in music. So you have to rate it somehow. It can't be all great. So there has to be some really bad stuff. And guilty pleasure is like the bad stuff where you know it's bad for your taste, but you still like it.
Right.
And maybe it also plays into this, and it's a bit embarrassing to admit.
That you.
So
like
today
this artist
we really let our trousers down in a way.
Yeah.
For you all, for you 10 people who watch this video. Who wants to start? It's so embarrassing. It's not really embarrassing. I mean, I'm grown up. There are other things that I could think of. Embarrassing or not, the first one that I picked is, we went for songs, not really bands, but we went for songs. But the song of this band is like a representation, in my opinion, for the band in total, in a way. The song is "Always" by Bon Jovi, and it's also a representation of the genre of this song. I would say this is the early 90s power rock ballad.
Yeah,
that's something. There haven't been songs like that really before. And especially not after, after like I Don't Want to Miss a Thing was like one of the last ones, like in 97, 98. And then it kind of died out. Maybe because it became like a template for what a guilty pleasure is. Plus those kind of songs all sound so expensive. The production, this is like the most gigantic way of rock music, in a way like, it sounds like every second costs like $1 million to produce this song, and the music videos seem more expensive than a Michael Bay movie sometimes. Yeah. And Always is like stands for me for all those kinds of songs, and it's my favorite of those schmaltzy, overblown, dramatic songs.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But there are other contenders. I think almost all of my guilty pleasure songs are more or less from this genre. So this is my guilty pleasure secret genre. This is a genre that I'm not proud of it, but I do enjoy it.
You want it.
Yeah. So other songs of that genre that I like are "I Do Anything for Love" by Meatloaf.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same kind of thing.
The big guns.
It's a bit the same kind of thing, and maybe the more subtle version of this genre, on the more grounded end of that, is Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
And songs like "Everything I Do."
Yeah.
I really have. I don't like to admit it, but when I'm going to the supermarket or the grocery or something, and this is one of those songs, Everything I Do, or Please Forgive Me, that comes on the radio of that shop. It's really like, oh, that's nice. I don't want to admit it, so I don't smile in public. I'm grumpy, as I'm always, but the little child inside of me is happy for 3 minutes.
So is there also a bit of nostalgia attached to it?
Yeah, of course. Especially Everything I Do, the Robin Hood movie. I once ranked my top 50 favorite movies of all time, and on the basis alone of this song, this made it into my top 50. You know, just because it is the movie with that song. I think it was my number 30 or number 25 of my favorite movies, and you know, you saw that video.
Yeah.
I made some really snobby kind of choices in that video, like David Lynch and all those people. But I had to have King of Thieves in there, also because of the song.
It's very honest, fantastically awful choices.
Yeah. But is there nothing in any of those songs that I just talked about where you can relate, or is it really that you hate those songs?
I can relate to the Bryan Adams song to some extent.
In the 80s,
because of the nostalgia factor. But the 80s, Bon Jovi always nah.
In the 80s, Bryan Adams, you know, is it even a guilty pleasure? Bryan Adams in the 80s is another topic, another question, but. So I can see that Bryan Adams is the least embarrassing of these artists, but especially because of his 80s work before he went with the power ballads. I have an album of his, Reckless, from the late 80s, and it's actually a really good album. You know, it's like a smaller version of Bruce Springsteen. You know, it's like a mix of the River Bruce Springsteen and Born in the USA Bruce Springsteen, but of course more commercially sounding. Yeah. But it's great songwriting,
I think
and great performances.
He started out as a more kind of, not really hard rock musician, but a more earnest rock.
It's still not really good music, and still the production and the way he's presented is for snobs like us. We hate that kind of stuff. The aesthetic, you know, it's not our vibe. It's I can't talk for you. It's not my vibe, not my aesthetic. But Reckless is a great album.
It's online now. It's official. We are snobs.
Yeah, that's obvious. But today is about, you know, being a bit more, you know, down to earth. You know, now we are like humans. Okay. In this video, we show our human side.
Yeah.
So now it's your turn.
I picked 3 songs, and first. Unconsciously, I realized all 3 songs are sung by women, which is not to say that female sung
You
pop...
hate women.
Yeah, that's not what I meant to say, and I don't mean to say that female fronted pop music is automatically a guilty pleasure, but for some reason these were the 3 songs that popped into my head. So I start with the first one. It's probably very obvious for people who usually talk about rock music or progressive rock or whatever. It's ABBA.
Oh, of course.
It's not maybe not the biggest surprise,
but it's not even a guilty pleasure these days.
You know, in the vinyl nowadays,
community and so on,
the people are coming out and saying, "Well, yeah, ABBA are actually they are really good and they're genius." But the song that I picked is really one of the more melodramatic ones. It's
Fernando.
No, not that one.
Chiquita.
It's Lay All Your Love on Me.
That's my favorite ABBA song.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't like ABBA. I really don't like ABBA. Yeah. I think they're no longer guilty pleasure, so I could admit it if I like them. But I think I'm really one of the very few people who really dislikes ABBA. But this is one of like 3 or 4 songs by ABBA that
it's from the disco phase, but it's
I like disco music. Disco,
very melodramatic.
Disco for me is never guilty pleasure. No. I'm a disco fan.
There's good disco and there's more cheesier disco.
I like
this falls on the cheesy side for me.
It's good.
But since we talk about guilty pleasures, I actually like this song. Yeah.
I think there's only maybe there's one ABBA song I like a bit more, and that's not disco. That's The Winner Takes It All. I think it's my favorite ABBA song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the choice number 1.
Do you? I already had like 3. You know, I said.
Oh, okay.
I said everything I do.
Okay.
Always, and I'd do for anything for love. But I have one so that I have one more. One more I do have, which is also Bryan Adams featuring Sting and Rod Stewart. Do you know the song? There's only one of this great trio. I really like that song. I think it's the sequel to Everything I Do.
All for Love, right?
It's all for love. Right. It's like Everything I Do with diminishing returns, but it has the Rod factor. You know, I really hate Sting.
Oh, okay.
I don't know him personally, but I don't really like his music. I know you like the Police. That was like a didn't mean it like that.
A sting to my heart.
I'm sorry. I really don't like the Police, and I really don't like Sting, but I love Rod Stewart. So it's like a lesser Everything I Do, but it has the big bonus of Rod Stewart, and I really love the video when the three are clowning around, and Rod is the coolest in the video. You know, I really Rod Stewart is no guilty pleasure for me. I like not everything, but I like most. It's just the voice. I like the voice, and I like the guy. I like the lad.
The personality.
Rod the Mod.
Okay, so my second pick is. Or I could actually go for two songs. It's Share, which is also nothing that I would usually
Is it the song If I Could Turn Back Time?
That's choice number one.
That's
a video
that's
that
awful.
You have to see
the
to
video,
believe it.
if you're a young boy, it's a very interesting video.
The second choice, or actually the one that's even closer to my heart, is an earlier hit by her. It's Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves, which I think is it's a perfect song. It's
I can't
fantastic.
really. I think I've heard this song, but I don't really have it in my memory now. But I think, you know.
I mean, the subject matter was kind of risque for its time. It's
what's the?
It's set in probably a Romany.
Oh, okay, it's like
you know, the traveling caravan, and the poetic eye, the singer gets pregnant as a teenager, and there's some.
So you mean it's the kind of song that nowadays it's not possible.
It hints at prostitution. It was quite risque, and I think it's a great pop song.
You know, again with Cher, and that's why we had this kind of disclaimer at the beginning. What's a guilty pleasure? And I really meant the question: where does it begin? Where does it end? Cher is another one of those artists, also like Rod Stewart, for example, where I'm like, is it really a guilty pleasure? I mean, she started out, Sonny and Cher is really, that was it became embarrassing the longer it went, but you know, I Got You, Babe is a classic.
It's a classic,
and that's good, and it's Dylan, the early Sonny and Cher is very Dylan influenced, early hippie, West Coast stuff, and also her comeback, you know, she had many comebacks, but like in the 80s, 90s, I think it's very commercial music, but it's not bad. I don't think it's bad music. I don't think it's embarrassing.
No, I wouldn't say that guilty pleasures are automatically bad.
So this means no one of us really has, I mean, in your eyes, I do have really awful, ultra guilty pleasures, but you know, no one of us has something like Spice Girls or the really bad stuff. or you're a Spice Girls fan.
No. But have you?
But you hate women, so.
I've watched the Spice World movie back in the day.
I watched it too, maybe because nothing else was on the TV and I was bored. It was awful, you know. A Hard Day's Night rip-off.
Yeah. So sort of.
But without any interesting ideas or anything, and awful music. Awful.
Right, so my choice number 3 is also not really bad music, not at all. It would probably be rather considered adult contemporary, very tasty, but...
Let me have a guess. You have to give me a hint and I have to guess it.
Female singer who also is an actor.
Madonna.
A bit older.
Even older than Madonna. Liza Minnelli. I don't know. No.
Somewhere in between.
So I'm close.
You're close.
Bette Midler.
No.
I'm Streisand. Barbara Streisand.
Right. Barbara Streisand with her super cheesy, over-the-top ballad "Woman in Love" from 1980.
I don't know this song.
You've never heard it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Can't really say too much.
It also has a hard-to-stomach video with her and Chris Christopherson.
Usually.
Yeah.
She's
I
always
think it's from
Chris. Is it from the movie?
I'm not sure.
Isn't that A Star Is Born
in a movie? Maybe it's from that one.
Yeah.
It's from 1980.
I think I saw A Star Is Born, not the Lady Gaga one, but
Streisand version.
but I was a child when my mother I think loved this film. It's a typical mother.
Maybe
mother
it's from
film.
maybe it is from the film. I've never seen it. Yeah,
I can't remember.
but that's a really
Yeah, I mean Barbra Streisand. That's the first of your choices where I'm like, okay, that's kind of a guilty pleasure. It's not as guilty pleasure-y as Bon Jovi. I think. I started the video with the big guns, and then it became more and more respectable. Our choices became more and more respectable. So that's maybe a sign that we don't have anything to add here. Or do you have any? I have to
maybe
think
if we should go back to 90s dance floor, Euro dance.
No, I never liked that.
Another video on that.
I never liked that. I mean, the Pet Shop Boys had a phase where they were inspired by Eurodance, but it was always with tongue in cheek and still great Pet Shop Boys music. They made. When you have songwriters like Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, they can take anything and make a good song out of it.
Usually have got also classy lyrics.
Yeah, and substance and depth and subtle side meanings and so on. But before we started the video, you reminded me that we talked about an act from the 60s who had a comeback in the 80s, and one of maybe the biggest comeback song, the initial comeback song, is often seen, if you watch videos or read lists, as the worst song, the all-time worst song in rock and pop history. And like weeks or months ago, we both sat in a cafe maybe, I don't know, and we were both like, I like the song, and you were also, I also like that song.
Yes.
Maybe that was the idea for the.
I think it was the starting point.
That was the starting point for this video. Because we sat in a cafe, I think I remember it. That was when I had the water damage in my apartment, and I was very down. And I said to you, I really like Starship and the song "We Built the City." I really like.
And you too. And I do too.
We Built the City on rock and roll. It's a great song. And the single after that, which is kind of the same, it is also like a sequel to it. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now.
Yeah,
I also like it. I think I like those. Those are like the only two songs from that 80s incarnation of this group that I really know.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer those two songs to anything that Jefferson Airplane in the 60s ever did.
Oh,
including White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
I wouldn't go as far as that. No. But yeah, We Built the City on Rock and Roll is just a great song. Great pop,
I don't know what's the
song,
what's
but
the problem.
Everybody hates it.
What's the problem with? Where is the problem? The melody is not just good; it's great. I think it's a great melody. I think it's often when I read those reviews and those lists, it's often said that the instrumentation is very lame and I don't really understand it. Typical mid-80s instrumentation.
Everything from the mid-80s is lame.
If you think this is lame, then everything is lame.
Yeah.
Except the Smiths
from the mid-80s.
or something like that. But
and I think a lot of also native speakers don't really like the lyrics. I think often the lyrics are criticized for being quite silly, but
no, I think they're good. I think they have. There's even rumors, in conspiracy theory circles. I've heard rumors that that there's like hidden meanings in that's. Which is always with, and that's why I like the lyrics. It's the same as with a song like "I'm the Walrus" by the Beatles or so on. And no one says those are bad lyrics or this is a bad song. Actually, it's my favorite Beatles song. Those are the kind of songs where some people would say that doesn't mean anything. That's nonsense. And then there are the other people like myself who really think that's where poetry starts. If you make whatever is considered a good lyric, but those honest lyrics that you often get where someone talks about a lost love or something, and people go, "Oh, those are great lyrics." I don't think those are great lyrics. I think great lyrics are the kind of lyrics that on the first sight don't mean anything, and you can project something upon them.
Into
I think that's
if it's
poetry, and if it's working, and if it's a hit in the charts, so that means lots of people see something in it, then it qualifies as a great lyric for me. So I think, and with the song with the "We Built the City" on rock and roll song, I think there's a conspiracy theory that it's about a guy who really existed who built a city in the Amazonas,
Okay.
in the jungle in Brazil or wherever that is, and they have like a hidden civilization there with spaceships and things like that. So it's a really fascinating conspiracy theory. For that alone, it's really an interesting lyric, I would say. Because there's this line I should have prepared. I didn't listen to the song in advance to the video. I haven't listened to this song in years maybe. But there's something like, what's it like? Marconi plays the mamba or something. And that guy was. This is a person that really existed in history, and he was one of the founding fathers, one of the inventors of radio, of what radio is, and he's the guy who disappeared suddenly. So that's the real part. He really disappeared, and there's the conspiracy theory that he built a new civilization. So he built a city in the jungle.
Wow!
So that's a kind of a hippie kind of conspiracy theory. So that's really a throwback to the 60s work of Jefferson, the LSD, the acid band. It's very acid. Maybe. So those are kind of acid head lyrics in a way also. I think it's...
I'll listen to the song with new ears now.
Very underrated song.
Yeah, I've always loved it, and I think, it's fun.
It's a fun song.
Some songs are allowed
if it means nothing, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun. And that's like every song on this list. Yes, even Always by Bon Jovi. Is fun. These are fun songs. So I think that's it.
Yes, our reputation destroyed. Thanks for watching.
This is probably our last video ever.